Hi, welcome to another travel video from Gary Rose Travels. In this video I'm going to be talking all about Indian train tickets, how to book them, where to book them from and what information do you need. Please click like and subscribe, and please watch to the end of the video for some really valuable advice on how to avoid getting scammed whilst you are using the trains. So basically I'm making this video because many times in India we've been asked for advice. Also whilst we've been at home we've been asked for advice on this, and while we've been in the neighbouring countries from people wanting to visit India, we've been asked for help and advice. So that is why I am making a video all about it. Travelling by train in India is one of the many joys of visiting the country. Indian Rail is one of the biggest employers in the whole world. It's absolutely magnificent, their train system. They cover whole of India. They also go into Pakistan. They also go into Nepal. They go into Bangladesh as well. So yeah, you can get a good idea of the sheer volume of trains and the scope. It's absolutely huge, and it's well worth it. Travelling by train in India is one of the joys. So first of all, where to book your tickets from. Now for us, we always go to a registered, approved government booking office. These are found in the main tourist areas. They're found in the biggest stations in the major cities. We very rarely do we visit smaller booking offices and agents. In many hotels and guest houses you will find booking desks, travel desk, information desk. These people who run them, they will offer train tickets, and sometimes you can book with them. Sometimes there are ones listed in the Lonely Planet that are reputable. However, for us personally, we always go with the government approved ones, because that way that you don't have to pay a big booking fee. You can guarantee that your tickets are genuine. Also, it's all above board. If you visited India or have read about visiting India, you'll know that there's quite a lot of corruption in parts. But if you go to the tourist office, then chances are there will be less corruption. So yeah, if you're booking tickets, go to the tourist offices. As I said, these are found in the major tourist hubs. You've got ones in places like New Delhi, Mumbai, Jaipur, Jodhpur, Agra, these places. I mean, they are widespread across the country, but they're concentrated in the major tourist hubs. Also, when you use them, they have special officers for foreign tourists, and also the people who work there, their English is really good and they know exactly what it is that you need. So the added advantage is you get all of their expertise, and they make it as easy as possible for us to do it. Okay, so that is where you should go. You can often you can buy them online, and some tourists we've seen do this, but the disadvantage with buying online and disadvantage when buying from agents is that they don't have access to something called the tourist quota. Now, the tourist quota is a set amount of tickets that are designated just for tourists. So if you're wanting to go to Agra from Delhi, that is a really popular train. It's really packed out. However, if you use the tourist quota, there's X amount of seats that are designated just for tourists. And often you'll be travelling with other tourists. So if you're unsure about travel, if you're perhaps a lone traveller, go to the government booking office and ask for the tourist quota. Other providers do not have access to this. Sometimes they can sell you a ticket where there isn't actually a seat. Yes, you have a ticket, but you end up not getting a seat, and if that's a 10 or a 12-hour journey, that's going to be pretty horrendous. Also, there's quite a lot of fake tickets being sold. So if you go to the government office, you're guaranteed a seat on the tourist quota, basically. So we've covered where to book your tickets from. What information to provide on the form. When you go to the government office, you'll be given a small white form like this. It's about this big. Basically, on the form you need to provide your name, your date of birth, what sex you are. I'll cover this in a minute. So name, date of birth, what sex you are, your age, so date of birth, your ID, so your passport number. Also, you have to tick whether you want upper, middle or lower bunk. Always tick upper if you can. I'll cover this when I talk about safety. Also, you have to provide your address. For this, just put the major capital city near where you live. So we just put London, England. You don't have to be specific with it. Also nationality, and also if you are buying any more tickets for onward travel or return travel, try and fill this in. One thing we have found is if we are visiting a certain area for a month, what we'll do is we'll go to the major city. We'll go to like New Delhi. We'll start in New Delhi. We want to travel to Rajasthan for 1 month. We will go to the booking office in New Delhi and try and book all of our travels for that month. Maybe we'll be there for maybe an hour and a half filling out the forms and doing it, but that's all your travel. So you'll know that from New Delhi in 10 days you'll be in Bundi or Jodhpur or something, and then in 12 days time, in 15 days time, you can plan your journeys like that, and it just avoids having to go back to booking offices. It means you've got guaranteed seats, and very often it's cheaper to get them all in one hit. Once you've booked a few trains and have got your head around it, you'll figure out what it is I mean. But yeah, that's one way of doing it, and that way also you're not having to go with any buses. It's reliable. The trains run really well, considering there's like hundreds of trains each day. They all run really well. They're very unusual for Indian trains to be late. So that is one of the good ways to do it. On the form, you can just fill out many. So when you are filling out the form, make sure you turn up with a pen, your passport, also something to read because you might be there for quite a long time. And also some cash as well. Try not to go and expect to pay with card. This happened in Mumbai. I mean, we didn't have card, but we met some tourists there who needed our help. They had only got their card with them. They were being charged a huge booking fee just because they were using card. They were charged a lot more. So yeah, take cash basically, because they were being scammed. I think it was probably a scam out of more money on their card. So yeah, and don't listen to anyone who tells you no, you have to use a card. That's absolute rubbish. Take cash. Yeah, take cash to pay for it basically. So how to stay safe whilst using the train. As I mentioned earlier, you want to ask for an upper bunk. So the train bunks, if you select second class sleeper, most trains are second class sleeper, whether you're going to sleep on it or not. Sometimes they're like 8 hours or 10 hours. You don't need to sleep, but the class of train is second class sleeper. This is what you want to tick. It's divided into like first class, second class, 3AC. These are all quite expensive. I mean, they're quite safe. If you are a lone traveller, maybe you do want this. But for us, generally, second class sleeper for any daytime is absolutely fine. So tick second class sleeper and you want upper bunk. The reason you want this is because A, it keeps you out of the way, because the train gangway itself can be very, very busy. If you've travelled in India or other parts of Asia, you'll know that people tend to travel in mass, they travel in huge family groups, and it can get, for us, it can get quite busy and quite crowded. So you want to go for upper. Get up there, get your bag up there, it's quite safe. You'll not get hassled at all. There's also then the middle bunk and then the lower. With daytime trains, people all tend to sit on the lower, so even if you have got a middle bunk, you probably won't be able to put that up and lay down, which can be quite frustrating at times, especially if it's hot or you're tired or you're not feeling great. It's just not the done thing really. Everyone just kind of squishes in together on the lower bunk and all just mucks in and sits down, which is fine. It's a great way of meeting people. However, if you're a reserved English person, you might feel a bit claustrophobic. So top bunk. If you are on an overnight train, top bunks are great because they're often quite safe. Unfortunately, things like petty theft and crimes, they do take place on trains. There are often police presence or army presence on trains if they deem it necessary. However, if you want to keep all your belongings safe, then opt for a higher bunk. If for whatever reason an upper bunk isn't available on second class sleeper, try a different class. Try the next class up. See if you can get a seat or a bed on there. just to keep yourself safe. It's usually like a few extra pounds or rupees if you're in India, but yeah, it sometimes is worth paying out for. Also, they do AC, non-AC. In second class sleeper you just get fans, which is fine, but if it's really, really hot you might want AC. Also, to minimise getting bitten from mosquito, if it's sometimes best to go with the AC. Obviously they hate AC, so you're not going to get many mosquitoes in there. Another good tip to take is a sleeping bag or blanket or a big scarf or something, because you can get quite chilly at night on the train with all the windows are open. The wind chill can get quite a lot. So often it's best to take a sleeping bag or a blanket or something, either to lay on because the beds can be quite dusty, or to cover you. So yeah, just bear that in mind. If not, it can be quite uncomfortable. So that is some basic information on how to use the trains. Also, you know what to expect from what seat it is you book. Some trains is just seats. You don't get sleeper. This again, this is fine. There's not really many classes on this. It's just like an AC or a non-AC. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't want it for an overly long journey, but for like 10 or 12 hours, it's okay. Oh yeah, with the forms it'll also say veg or non-veg. Sometimes they feed you on the train. For us personally, we tend to try and eat a large meal before we get in on the train. This is because of hygiene reasons. They're not overly clean. You don't want to be eating things when you can't wash your hands properly. We've got hand sanitizer, but often we'll tend not to eat. We just have a few snacks, maybe some biscuit and some water, things out on the train. My advice, if you are going to eat on the train, always tick the veg option. Do not go for non-veg, because this probably won't have been stored in very hygienic condition. I know some trains, they try and do their best to make sure it's served hot and things. However, we've met many tourists who've gone for a chicken biryani on a 15-hour train journey and not felt the best afterwards. So just use your head a little bit. Don't put yourself at more risk than necessary. So how to make sure you don't get scammed. As I said earlier, you should always buy your tickets from a reputable source, always from the government officers. This will minimise your chances of getting scammed. A little while ago we were going into New Delhi railway station. We know exactly where the booking office is. You go in, you turn left, you just keep going, you go up some stairs. Upstairs you turn right, there's some big doors. It says Tourist Information Bureau and Ticket Booking Office in really big official lettering. That is where it is. However, as we entered the station, we were stopped maybe 2 or 3 times by guards, railway guards. They were just regular blokes who had managed to get hold of some railway workers' uniform, who were stood there with like a clipboard and a large bunch of keys, posing as ticket inspectors. These were absolutely false. They were just scam artists trying to get you to go to their uncle's, brother's, cousin's shop around the corner to buy tickets. They were saying, no, there's no booking office, it's moved, it's gone around the corner, don't worry, I'll take you. And because they looked official, if you weren't experienced, perhaps you would fall for that. You're not sure where it is, you're not sure what to expect, maybe you'd fall for that. However, do not be put off. Do not let these people take you. You know where it is. It's up. I've told you, you go in up these stairs, turn right, it's there. If you're not sure, then ask other tourists. So you'll see other tourists walking back out. Just keep going, be adamant, you know where it is. So before, my advice is, if it's another booking office in another city or town, do your research before. Read your Lonely Planet, ask other tourists. Don't rely on a rickshaw driver or a friendly local who offers to walk you there, because chances are it's a scam. And when you get there, make sure it's definitely the government office. Okay, I can't stress how important it is that you don't get scammed, because if you look like you're not sure, then chances are you might fall victim to it. Okay, so I hope you have learnt from this video, and I hope that I've been informative. So yeah, please click like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and as you can see, it's Merry Christmas at Carriages Travels. So Merry Christmas and thank you.